make no mistake about it, Christians are also being attacked in Israel again and again and again, and it goes beyond spitting. So what's it like being a Christian in Israel, really? Not great for a nun that was viciously attacked last week. Here's the footage, by the way. I'll explain what you're looking at. So you see a man running up to the nun, she's walking, comes up from behind her, pushes her to the ground, okay? An older woman, a nun, simply walking alone, gets a surprise attack from an Israeli man. Look at him. He's kicking her now. And people run to aid her, and he starts pushing those who are trying to help her out. These people are terrorists. Okay, that man is a disgusting, hateful terrorist. But we're supposed to pretend like he's not because he's a citizen of Israel? Oh, Israelis can't be terrorists? No, Israelis are terrorists. That guy is a terrorist. Specifically targeting a nun because she's a nun. By the way, these people are such disgusting cowards. Imagine feeling good about yourself, running up from behind and shoving an older woman, a nun, to the ground and then kicking her. And it's not an isolated incident either. The Rossing Center, a Jerusalem-based association for interreligious dialogue, has documented growing harassment of Christians in Israel and East Jerusalem, according to a study released in March. By the way, this was a report published by the AFP and the Times of Israel, which is in no way a peace-loving publication like Haaretz. Haaretz is an Israeli publication as well. Times of Israel tends to be more in line with the hardliners in Israel, right? Which at this point is 80% of them. Throughout 2025, it recorded 61 physical attacks, including spitting, the use of pepper spray, and blows. It also recorded, and not the Laurel Loomer type blows, it also recorded 28 cases of verbal harassment and 52 cases of defacement of church property. A British priest who preferred to remain anonymous for obvious reasons, said that the incidents occurred daily. He never went out without his black robes and was invariably met with spitting or shouts of "go home" in his direction. He is home, actually. Noah Landau, who is the global director of Haaretz, wrote about Israel's growing rift with Christianity in a recent piece. She explains that for many years, Benjamin Netanyahu, with the help of a well-oiled machine of organizations, donors, and advisors, oversaw the formation of an artificial alliance between the Christian right, mainly though not exclusively in the United States, and the Jewish right. Creating this unholy alliance was a complex, roundabout task because at its theological foundation lies an unpleasant truth. The evangelicals seek the fulfillment of the apocalyptic prophecy in which Israel and the Jewish infidels burn in hell in the war at Armageddon. Do you know how many times Cenk has been smeared simply for relaying the same information on this show? It's just the truth. This is what it is. She continues, while the Jewish right, especially its very religious precincts, willfully turn a blind eye to the second part of the prophecy in order to exploit Christians' enthusiastic support for its first part. The main victims of these religious politics were the Palestinians, among whom there is, ironically, an actual Christian population. Over the past 2 years, we have seen the collapse of this alliance of extremists. First, the American Christian right began to question it ever more vociferously. Good. While in Israel, the religious Zionist political parties, which have become very powerful thanks to the type of governing coalition formed by Netanyahu, have been venting their restrained anger with its deep, complex, and bloody historical theological roots, with actual violence against Christianity and Christians. And the ugly truth has been bubbling and spilling over from the boiling cauldron of the Middle East. excellent piece, and it's expressing the reality of this Judeo-Christian alliance. It makes no sense when it comes to theology, but people have been hoodwinked into thinking you ain't getting into heaven unless you bless Israel, meaning whatever government is governing Israel, whatever Israel is carrying out across the Middle East, you just gotta support it or else you're not gonna get into heaven. And think about how potent that message is if you're an evangelical Christian who's in church all the time. Disastrous. Israel has spent a lot of money, brainwashing a lot of people of faith, working with all sorts of charlatan priests who visit Israel, go to these conferences, get their talking points, and then proceed to brainwash their parishioners into supporting a country that's slaughtering children. That's the reality. So, there is no respect for Christianity. You think they were gonna stop at Muslims? Come on. This is a supremacist ideology. Doesn't mean that Judaism is a supremacist ideology, it is not. That is a religion. But the ideology of Zionism, which is at the foundation of this Judeo-Christian BS, that's the problem here. That's where the supremacy comes from. That gives people the idea that it's okay to go after people of faith, of any faith. It's wrong if a Jewish person of faith is being violently targeted. It's wrong if a Muslim person of faith is being violently targeted. And it's wrong if it happens to Christians as well. And if you are a fair, honest, good faith actor, you would acknowledge that and you would live by that rule. You're not seeing that in Israel. The only time you see any action from the Israeli government is when there's enough outrage here in the United States. So be outraged because they deserve it.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.